This is the Lightspeed free webinar. We're covering the Eze EMS software, it's formerly known as RealTick. It's a trading platform for stocks, options, and futures. Before we continue on, I have to read our disclaimer. This presentation is for informational purposes only. Nothing presented today should be construed as investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security or contract. Since we don't know everyone's investment objectives or risk tolerance, we are not endorsing any specific trading strategies. Security, derivative, and futures trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Each investor must consider whether this is a suitable investment, since you may lose all or more than your initial investment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Lightspeed is a division of Lime Brokerage LLC. Lime Brokerage LLC is not affiliated with these third-party market commentators, educators, or service providers. Data, information, and material are provided for informational and educational purposes only. This content neither is nor should be construed as an offer, solicitation, or recommendation to buy or sell any securities or contracts. Any investment decisions made by the user through the use of such content is solely based on the user's independent analysis, taking into consideration your financial circumstances, investment objectives, and risk tolerance. Lime Brokerage LLC does not endorse, offer, nor recommend any of the service or commentary provided by any of the market commentators, educators, or service providers, and any information used to execute any trading strategies are solely based on the independent analysis of the user. Okay, now that we have that done, my name is Joe Ely, and my email is posted on the slide here. My email is jely@limebrokerage.com. You can email me for more information on a demo of Lightspeed or RealTick, or if you're interested in opening an account with Lightspeed, I'd be more than happy to help you out. At the end of this webinar, one lucky attendee will be randomly selected to win a Lime duffel bag. I have been known to forget to raffle off the bag, so if you could remind me towards the end, I'd appreciate that. Make sure someone walks away with a prize. All right, I'm gonna pull up the Lightspeed website real quick. Let's see. Just wanted to cover some basic information on what we offer here. So this is the Lightspeed website. Pricing, you can look at commissions. We offer two different commission structures for stocks per share. Per share starts at 0.0045 per share with $1 minimum. Goes down based on volume, go down all the way to 0.001 per share for very active traders. Stocks per trade starts at $4.50 per trade, and again, it goes down based on volume. Options are 60 cents a contract with $1 minimum, and that does go down to 20 cents a contract with significant volume. We trade futures as well. Futures, $1.29 per contract per side, plus fees. So a lot of people ask, why do you provide so many different trading platforms? Really, it's user preference. RealTick, the Eze EMS software, is one of those programs that we provide. So if we go to technology, trading software, these are all the different trading softwares that Lightspeed provides. Lightspeed Trader is our main day trading platform. We have the Lightspeed Web and Mobile, LiveVol, X for options, Sterling. We have the Lime Gateway, Eze EMS. We have other specialized futures trading platforms and so forth. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to pull up the RealTick trading platform. I already have it logged in. And there we go. You should see the Lightspeed platform. I'm sorry, the RealTick platform. They don't like it being called RealTick, even though it was RealTick for 15, 18 years. It's now Eze EMS. So on this layout, it's a one monitor layout. I have one level 2 screen in the upper left-hand corner, order entry attached to that level 2 screen. I have a watch list, order history. The lower corner, I have my positions, account details, open orders, all orders, my P&L, news and headlines. I have 5 different charts, different time frame charts. I have a 2-minute, 5-minute, 15, 60-minute, and a daily chart. All of them are linked together, so if I change my my symbol, it goes through and updates all the windows. So I'm going to pull up our outline here and see if we can go through the outline. RealTick is extremely customizable. You can change virtually anything on the platform. You can change the colors, you can change the font, you can move windows around, you can add windows, subtract windows. It's a complete blank palette that you can fill in and do with what you want. I would say it's one of the better platforms for charting. Has a very good charting package. Also has very good order entry, hotkeys, hot buttons, point and click, and so forth. Also has OCO orders and bracket orders, which is a really good feature. So I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna save this. So I'm gonna go to, so this page, RealTick calls them pages. I adjusted a little bit, so I'm gonna go to page and save. So now let's save this page, but I'm just gonna open up a different page really quick. So I go to page, new, it opens up a blank page. You can design anything from scratch. So here I just opened up a really ugly blank, chart here. I can open up a market maker screen. And it, creates this generic looking level 2 screen. And again, everything's customizable. So if you right click on it, you can change anything about any window. So display options, you want to change colors, you can do that. You can have a gradient color, you can get rid of gradient. I mean, everything's completely customizable. I'm going to open up another page here. I have a lot of different pages over the years. Let's see if I can find one that's a 1 page. Let's see what this one does. No, looks similar to the one I just had open. A little bit different. So as you make changes, you just go to page, save as, and you give it a name, you save it to your computer, and that way your page is always saved. Again, any window that you want to open, you would go to design and then choose the type of window that you want to open. You have chart, we have table, market minder, market maker. Market maker's window is a level 2. News, multi-quote, tab view. Tab view is a interesting window, and I'll show you that in a second. Alarms, ticker time and sales, trade manager, options window, web browser, and quote board. So this window in the corner, lower corner here, this is a tab view chart, tab view window, and you can add tabs so that you can have a lot of different information located in one small area. So as I click on all these tabs, it goes through different windows. If I want to add a new tab, I just click on the plus sign, and then you have the option to add virtually any window available within RealTick. If you have a 1 monitor layout or use a laptop, it's a nice thing to have. I'm going to go through some of the basic windows really quick. If you do have questions, please type them in. I will try to answer all of them. So this is the level 2. They call it a market maker's window. At the bottom, you have an order entry screen, and that order entry can be changed significantly. You right click on it, you go to system order forms, and you can choose any one of these order forms. There's an OCO order form. that's for sending an OCO order. So for example, if I were long, 500 forward and I wanted to place an OCO, a target and a stop, I would click the sell button. That sets up my OCO on the sell side, and then I enter two orders, an up market for a profit and a down market for a stop loss. You choose your order type, your price, your route. Do that for both the upside and the downside. You hit place orders and both orders go live. We also have bracket orders. Bracket orders are a little bit more complex. So we check off this bracket box. I have one default setup, but we'll create a new one here. We click on this little box, and this is the bracket order. So what it does is it allows you to enter an order, and then automatically, as soon as it's executed, it's going to have a bracket. It's going to have a target and a stop out there based on your parameters. And you can set up multiple targets and multiple stop losses for each bracket. So I could have, for example, 3 target prices at 3 different share sizes and 2 on the downside on the stop side. It's very easy to use. So here we'll just do 50% offset. We'll just say point I don't know, 25. We're going to do buy profit. We'll just do 100% for example. I want to sell everything at 50 cents higher. I'm going to add my new leg here, loss. So we're going to do the other 50%. And we'll do that at a loss of, I don't know, we'll just say 0.15. So if you look, now I have this bracket set up. We're going to give it a name. We're just going to call it Joe Test. And we're going to hit save. So now we'll close this. If I place a trade and it gets executed with this bracket box checked off and my Joe Test selected as my strategy, as soon as it gets executed, those 3 orders are going to go live. So let's see. We'll just sell. We'll sell short 1,000 shares to see what happens. All right, so as soon as I hit short, you see I have my system set up so that the orders show on my chart. If you look on each chart, you see a line there. It says sell short 1,000 F at $8.24. Not getting filled. There's no trading. Well, it looks like there's some trading going on. It is a demo, so it's all fake trading. If I go down to the lower left here, my tab view chart, my tab view window, I click on open orders, you can see my one open order right here. If I right click on it, go to change order, I'm gonna move my price down 2 cents, click change orders. There we go. So now I'm starting to get filled. I lowered my sell to the bid. Got 800 shares so far, and you can see it filling on all of the windows. Looks like I only have my show open orders on my one chart here. So I made this chart bigger. You can see my 2 exit loss orders. It split up my 1,000 shares, 500 at a I forget what it was, 15 cent and 25 cent loss. And if I scroll down here, you see my profit order. It wants to buy back my shares at $7.72. So these 3 lines indicate those 3 live orders. And I also have it set up so that they show on the level 2 screen. I don't particularly like seeing them on the level 2 screen. It's kind of distracting, but I do like seeing them on the chart. So now I'm looking at this here, I'm looking at the chart and I'm saying, oh, wow, well, my stops are kind of close to the current range. I don't want to get stopped out. So I can click on one of these lines, drag it and drop it, and it's going to change the price. So I just clicked on the line, dragged it, dropped it, and it changed my stop order. If I want to do it for the target, I could do that as well. Click on it, drag it and drop it, and now my orders have changed. Now, what's one of the really good things about this bracket order setup on RealTick is that when one side of the order gets filled, it automatically decrements the other side. So if you get filled on, say, 200 shares, it's going to reduce the share size of the other side of your bracket to correspond with the position that you have left. And it's a really good feature. Someone has a question. Can you do that on the OCO order? Yes, you can. The OCO order does virtually the same thing. So let's see. I'm going to try to get filled here. See if I can buy this back. So I'm just going to move my price, to the current price. And there we go. So it looks like I'm starting to get some of that order filled. Order got filled, and it is starting to cancel out the other side of the order, and it pops up on the confirmation window here. So now I'm out of the trade, and you can see I have it set up in my level 1 section where it shows me my net position, average price, close position, open P&L. You can see on that quick trade we lost $20. So quickly, that was the level 2 screen. You got your level 1 at the top, your order entry, we covered bracket orders. OC orders work the same way. So let's see, I'm gonna uncheck bracket. We're just gonna buy, I'm gonna put SPY up here. We might have more trading. Let's see, I'm going to buy 200 shares. If I click on a price on the level 2 screen, it's going to automatically update my price on my order entry. So I click on the ask, click buy, my order goes live. Looks like I just got filled. Click on positions here. You see my position. I'm 200 shares of SPY. Charts are kind of funky looking here. Let's see. So if you look here, you can see my position. Now, if you want an OCO order, you change the order form to OCO. Since I'm long, I'm going to click the sell button. Limit, we're going to make that higher than the current price. Let's see. We'll just make it, I don't know, 339. And on the downside, we'll just make it 337 even. So if you notice on the upside, I have a limit, $339. On the downside, I have a stop market order at $337. That means as soon as the stock hits 337, it's going to sell at the market. Hit place orders, and they go live. So on the chart, you can see my target and stop, and that's an OCO order. Now on open orders, if you right click on it, you can go to cancel order, and it's gonna cancel the order for you. Right, so I had to cancel both of them separately. There's so many different order forms. I like the standard too, that's a pretty good one. So here's my position. If I right click on that, you can view your order transaction summary. I'm just gonna close this out. Yeah, so I'm stuck there on the offer. While we're waiting for that to fill, if you notice up here, you see my net position, my average price, my closed P&L, my open P&L, currently down $12. When that gets filled, it'll move to the closed P&L section. And we're just going to change it to market. And we got filled. I see a question here. Let's see. Can you use the bracket order on multiple accounts at the same time if the account no, you can't do that. The bracket orders just use, you can only place trades for one account at once. So if you have multiple accounts, you can have multiple accounts on the same login, but you can only trade one at a time. Let's see, are those long dips on the chart real? Yeah, I would say they are. I mean, somehow someone traded some stock at that price, which, you know, it's like $2 off, but they're definitely real. Something did trade it there. We'll put up another stock here. Let's see. So going back to my outline here, one of the things, linking your level 2 to charts to order entry. If you right click on the level 1 section, you go to links, it brings up a window that lists out all of the windows that you have open. If you click on a window, hold down the control button, you can select multiple windows and have them all linked together. So right now I just linked my level 2 to all my charts. Another feature for linking, I can link my watch list to my level 2, which is then linked to my charts as well. So I right click, go to links, and I'm going to link this to my market makers window and click OK. Now I have my watch list. If I click on a symbol in my watch list, it's going to automatically update my level 2 and all of my charts. Now on my watch list, I have multiple different tabs. I have just a straight watch list. I have a long list. I have a short list, and then I have a scan. So you can set up multiple different lists on one window, or you can have separate windows if you want, and have your watch, your long and short list. But I like having it on one screen here, where I just click on the watch list that I want to look at. If you have a long list of stocks, just it makes it an easy way to scan through a bunch of stocks quickly. I see a question or two here. So the question, so can you set up bracket orders before the market opens for a planned trade, and then market opens, execute the trade manually? Yeah, so the bracket orders, you can set them up anytime you want and save them. So back on this level 2 screen here, so you can, we'll go back to, where is it, bracket. So if you click on this one little box here, you can set up as many of these as you want and save them with different names. You could call one Ford if you're trading Ford, or whatever it may be, and you can set up as many as you want and save them. Someone asks about the scan. We'll cover the scan window later on. Let's see. So does anyone have questions about order entry, level 2, anything like that? One other thing that I did want to cover on the level 2 screen is you can change the way it looks. A lot of people don't like the traditional level 2. They want to see a ladder, a matrix, or a dome. That is available on RealTick. You right click, you go to setup, and we can choose ladder, click OK, and then it adds a ladder back here. Let's see. There we go. A lot of futures traders like the way the ladder looks. So it's the yellow section here. Let me get rid of this here. Here, this is the, I have the wrong symbol. What is it? It's Z. That should work. I'm not sure why. Let's see, we'll try this one. There we go. So here's the S&P 500 E-mini on the ladder or dome. If you note the price goes down the center, you still have the bid on the left, the ask on the right. Volume is lined up on each side, so this is how many contracts are available at each price point. And then there's this histogram here that shows how many contracts or shares or whatever it is that you're looking at were executed at each price point. Someone asks, can you enter bracket orders with only percentages? Yes, you can. You can do it. Well, you can do it with share size or percentages. All right, so I'm going to change this back to my regular level 2 screen. So charting, I like the charting on RealTick. I think it's very easy to use and very functional. I like the blue gradient. You can change it to look any way that you want. Go to display, display and analysis. Candlestick colors, we can change our candlestick colors. You know, if you prefer something different, you know, we can do that. You make them bright green. The background, if we uncheck this, you know, you can have a white chart. We can make it, you know, any color that you want. You want a black chart, we could do that. So it's extremely customizable as far as colors and setup. I'm just gonna move it back to the colors I like here. Let's see. Well, yeah, that's a little different, huh? Studies are very easy to add. You right click. Sorry, I was looking for something there. You have recent studies, so if you've set up recent studies, that is available. Go to Analysis Manager, and these are all the studies that are available. So, you know, if you look through, there's everything from VWAP, RSI, MACD, moving averages, and so forth. Commodity Channel Index. So if we want just a simple moving average, we click on that. Go to Add New. So we want to look at, I don't know, we'll just say a 50-period moving average. Click OK. I don't know why that didn't work. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Yeah, they changed something on me. It used to pop up immediately as soon as you did that. It's kind of strange. There we go. So now I've added it. We're going to make the color red. Red is good for something to stand out. And now we have a 50-period moving average on there. Someone asks, there's a bunch of questions here about charts. Within your charts, can you drag them to change your existing entry line, stop lines? We'll get it. I'll show the lines in a second. Someone asks on the chart, what is above the volume on the chart. That's a study that I've added. It's a relative strength indicator, and then I've color coded it so that the line turns red if it hits 200, and I've color coded it so the line turns green if it hits negative 200. Robert, please show price to volume on chart. I'm not sure what that is. Jake asks, can you see orders on a chart? Jake, yes, we covered that early in the webinar. Can you place an order from a chart? No, you cannot place a new order from a chart. So the basics on charts. I mean, obviously, if you right click, you go to setup, you can change the parameters for a chart. So, you have data period, you have intraday charts, you have tick bar charts, volume bar, seconds bar, so forth. This is a 2-minute chart. We can make it a 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute, whatever it is that we want, 1 minute. You can have the date. You can select how many days back. You can also have it show or not show pre and post market data. Exclude bars with no volume. There's a lot of different things available. Volume by price is an option. You can choose to turn the volume off. I mean, everything that you can imagine is available. Now, one of the features that I like on RealTick, if you click on a chart, you can type in .d, for example, to change it to a daily chart, .w to a weekly, .m to a monthly. If you want an intraday chart, I can type .i, I don't know, we'll say 15 for an intraday 15-minute chart, .i2 for a 2-minute chart. Makes it really easy to change timeframes on a chart so that you know exactly what you're looking at. And you notice in the upper left-hand corner it says intraday 2-minute, so it shows exactly what you're looking at. Someone asks, can you show volume by price? Yes, so that is available. It's a checkbox right here. And that puts the volume by each price point on the right side. So if you see, we're looking at this SPE mini, 3373, there was a huge spike in volume at that price point. You want to look at a stock and do the same thing. How do you show more decimal places in your order entry screen? I think if the stock trades at more than 2 decimal points, it will show, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So hotkeys and hot buttons, RealTick has a very good setup for hotkeys and hot buttons. I'm just going to go in and create a hotkey, a simple hotkey really quick. You right click, you go to, where is it, order entry properties. From here, there's a lot of different backend settings. This is where you would set up your backend settings, but for hotkeys, you go to order actions manager. We're going to click new order action, and this form pops up, and it's very detailed. It has a lot of different information, so you can set up anything that you want. So we're just going to set up a very simple. We're just going to say buy the route. Let's see. I gotta make sure I choose my demo. We're going to say limit. Gotta make sure I select my demo account here. Trade size parameters, you could set the default quantity. We're just gonna say it's a 200 share order. This is kind of cool. You can set up a hotkey to close out positions. This checkbox here says use net position. So if you have a position, say you had 500 of Microsoft, check this box off. You enter the hotkey to sell. It's going to automatically change the share size to the position that you have. Let's see. Just want to make sure we have everything set up here. Yeah, they changed the form on me recently. It's a little more complex than it used to be. There's a lot of different information here. So the price reference, we're going to send a limit. Since we're buying, we're going to buy at the offer. I'm going to click OK. It wants a file name. We're going to say, I forget what it was, buy 500 offer. I'm going to click OK. Now it's highlighted. This is the hotkey I just set up. I'm going to set that up to Control B. So if you look in the Action Attributes hotkey, hit Control B, click OK. So now I have that hotkey set up. So I'm gonna, my level 2 screen, I click on that, I hit Control B. Here's the order. So it's exactly what I said, buy 200 at the offer. If I hit the buy button, it's going to go live. Hotkeys, you typically do not want your you do not want the confirm to pop up. So I'm going to turn those off. Same thing, you go right click, you go to order entry properties, warnings and confirmations. I'm going to uncheck a few of those. Order actions manager, let's see. I'm going to go in here and see what we missed. All right, let's try it again. It's doing the same thing. There's a way to turn it off. They've definitely changed it recently, but typically what will happen is the order will go live immediately. Since I'm buying at 200 at the offer, it'll get executed immediately. Robert asked a question about charting, and Robert, if this doesn't answer your question, let me know. Once you have a chart set up the way that you want it, you can right-click on it and clone it. So if I hit clone window, it immediately creates the exact chart exactly the way that one was, so that it has my moving average, it's got my RSI, it's got my volume, my colors, everything set up. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but there is a way to clone a window on RealTick, so you set up a new one that looks exactly like the existing. Another question from Jake, can you do a price offset for a limit buy, for example? I typically don't use that, but I'm sure you can. You can definitely say, buy 1,000 shares at the ask plus 2 cents and do an offset so that you're buying 2 cents higher than the ask in case the price is moving quickly on you. Hot buttons. So let's see. So if I want to add buttons, hot buttons to my order entry section, right click, we go to Market Maker, and then show toolbars. We're going to create a new toolbar. just say standard toolbar. And this is a list of all your hotkeys that you've set up. And if you click on one of those, I have a lot of them set up here. Close position for selected, for example. We'll just call this, I don't know, Joe Test. That's going to be the name. You know, there's bump price orders, so you can set a, as you see down at the bottom left, I have hot buttons set up to increase or decrease the price of an existing order. But here's all the hotkeys that I have set up. Here's the one that I created before. We click Add. Let's see. We're going to label it. You can change the size. You can change the color. Let's see. Just click OK. So now you see this little toolbar at the bottom. This button is created. Now we can configure the button. You can change the color. You right click, set color, you know, maybe we'll just change it to green. We can, we want to make it a little bit bigger. Let's see. There's a way you can make the configure toolbar. That might do it. So we want the width, button width. We'll make it a little bit bigger here. So you see what you can do. You can set up hot buttons to do virtually anything that you want. I used to have a lot of buttons set up on my system that were useful when trading stocks. So you can set up buttons to close out your position, close out all positions, reverse your position, and so forth. So you can set up both hotkeys and hot buttons to do all of those type of things. So I showed futures trading briefly. We saw stock trading, options trading. RealTick allows you to trade all three: stocks, options, and futures. If you do trade futures, you have to open a separate account and fund it separately, but you can do both or all three. Options windows, we go to design, turbo options. We'll look at SPY options, and it pulls up an options chain. So you see we have calls on the left, puts on the right. All these columns are completely customizable. You can add, you know, you right click on it and you know, change your columns. Down the center, you have your expiration dates and then the strike prices. Across the top, all these different buttons are all the options that are available. You want to look at the March 2nd weekly, you click on that, you see the options that are available. It's very easy to use. On any window in RealTick, if you press F7, it adds an order entry window at the bottom. And on options, you press F8, it gives you a little level 2 screen on this turbo options window for your option. So I just clicked on that one particular option and it loaded the little level 2 screen here. So you can see which exchange, the price, and the size for any option that you're interested in trading. On the right side here, this is your order entry for a simple one leg option order. I don't do it that often, but there is a complex options order entry window where you can do multi-leg option orders. Let's see, so we go system orders, let's see, change it to spreads. And now you have a multi-leg options order entry window set up here for you. Someone has a question. When you have existing shares that you bought at different prices, when you go to sell, can you see lot sizes that you can trade on? You can see the lot sizes, but you can't control which lot you are selling. It goes by first in, first out. One thing that a lot of people do like, you're able to chart options on RealTick. So I just clicked on this particular option, any one of these here, click on it, drag it and drop it. It's going to chart that option for me. If you have an option, let's see, maybe one of these is a little more, there we go. So if you look, here's the chart for that particular option. This is the SPY 336 call. Does anyone have questions about anything that we've covered so far? Someone asks, buy rights listed as option types. I'm not sure. Let's see. And if it's not available in this particular, yeah, there it is, buy right. So these are the different standard multi-leg option strategies that are available. It's got all the basics there, and buy right is one of them. All right, so the last thing I want to cover is the scanner. The scanner is fairly useful in helping you find potential trading opportunities. So on any market minder type window, you can open up this RealTick TAL tree. So this is the standard tree. We look at US stocks, NASDAQ, they have it divided out by NASDAQ, New York, and Amex stocks. So we want to look at NASDAQ stocks, for example. If you click, drag, and drop the scan into the window, it populates the window with all the stocks that meet the criteria for that scan. So these are all the stocks that gapped down at the open, gap up at the open. There's a hot volume scan, most active scan, stocks near at 52 week highs and lows, percent gainers, percent losers. There's a lot of different scans available. So right now I'm looking at percent gainers. If you double click on any column, it'll sort by that particular column. You want to sort by volume, you can do that, but you want to look at percent gainers. You can see the stocks that have gained the most today. Looks like this NRBO up 104%. There's pre and post market scans. A lot of times, when you're just starting the day, knowing what stocks have moved the most pre-market could be beneficial information. Pre-market percent gainers, losers, and so forth. So all of this is available. They have it broken out by the New York, NASDAQ, and Amex. Other scans that are available, US indices scans, like you just want to see, what the stocks in the Dow Jones Composite are doing. You just pull up the Dow Jones scan, and here's a list of all the stocks in the Dow Jones. And again, you can, sort it by any one of these columns. So PCG is the worst performer percentage-wise in the Dow Jones today. Has other indices here, so the Dow Jones Transport, Utilities, so forth. S&P, you want to look at the entire S&P 500. Same thing. You click it, drag, drop, and it's going to give you that list. So someone asked a really good question. How do you see charts after you generate your list? So you link your watch list to your charts, and I believe I already did that. Oh, let's do it again. So I right click here, we go to links. Let's see why it's not working. There we go, links, and I'm going to link it to my market makers window. Click OK, right? Well, this window is kind of big. It's hard to see right here, but if I click on any one of these symbols now that I have it linked to my level 2 and my charts, you know, if you have my windows are kind of messy now, but if you have this set up neatly, you know, you can scan through a lot of stocks very quickly. You know, so here I have a 2-minute, 5-minute, 15, 60, and daily chart, and just click on every symbol and it populates. And it's a really, really nice way to scan through a lot of different stocks quickly, especially, you know, if you're looking at stocks pre-market or post-market. Here, we'll look at post-market percent gainers, right? So we put that up. Let's see, we want to look at, so DTSS, right? You just click on it and, you know, you get a chart and you scan through them all. Other scans available, so we went through the primary scans, the indices. You get gold and silver, oil services, banking, semiconductors. TAL market statistics, some people like looking at these. You want to look at the NYSE stats, for example. Here is where you can look at your tick, your trend, your put call ratios, your put call volumes. You know, you're looking at your market internal type information. And that again is broken out by NYSE Amex, NASDAQ, and so forth. We don't trade foreign stocks. It has information for Canadian, European, Asian indices, but we don't trade them, so we don't get quotes for them. The Russell 1000, you want to see every stock in the Russell 1000. You know, so it's pretty powerful. It does have futures scanners. I don't use the future scanners, but you can. You know, we want to look at the US E-minis. So there you have that. Commodities, energy. I'm not permissioned for energy futures, but you can trade all of these. You know, you can trade agricultural and energy, metals, E-minis, and so forth. Anyone else have questions? All right, let's see. Someone asks, can you see pre-market gaps? Yes, I showed that. You can do that. How do you see your charts after you get the list? We did that. How to open a tab view. So you just go to design and then tab view. And I'll just put in a symbol, click OK. And it generates this generic tab view. It comes with, you know, Minder chart news. You click the plus button to add windows. You can always right click on a window to remove it, remove the active tab, move it left, right, and whatnot. Someone asks, how do you get news, rumors? There is news available on RealTick. I haven't used it in years, so I'm not sure. Here's headlines and news. They used to provide two different news services, Dow Jones News and Comtex News. I'm not sure which ones they still provide, but there are news services linked into RealTick. How do you change the color on the background chart for the pre-market time frame? I'm sure there's a way to do it. I've never done it. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that. But if you want to email me, email is jely@limebrokerage.com. Anybody has any like real specific questions, you know, just email me. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And if you are interested in opening an account with us, you know, please do let me know. If you open an account on our website, choose me as your salesman. My name is Joe Ely. I'll be glad to continue to help you out. a lot more questions coming in here late in the day. Let's see. Someone asks if Lightspeed has the PDT rule. Yes, all US brokers have the PDT rule. All brokers that are regulated by FINRA in the United States have the PDT rule. So the cost, RealTick has two different versions. It has an express version. Express version is $125 per month. And then it has a pro version that is $325 per month. The main differences is that the Express version does not have alarms or alerts. It limits you to 4 level 2 screens. It limits you to view 100 symbols at a time. And there was one other major difference. I forget what it is right now. It slips my mind. But the RealTick Express version for $125 is a great deal. So I've really covered everything that I had for you tonight. I hope you learned something. Hope you liked RealTick. If you're not trading with us, I encourage you to check out our website and see what we have to offer. And again, if you do have specific questions or want to open an account, please contact me. Email is jely@limebrokerage.com. We have the duffel bag to give away. No one reminded me. So let's see, we're only going to give it out to people that are still in attendance. So let me pull up my attendee list. I'm just going to randomly pick someone. Let's see here. All right, let's see. How about Neil Cello? Are you still here? All right, Neil. If you want the duffel bag, please type in the questions. Type in your address for me. I'll be the only one that sees it, so it's not public. But if you type in that address, we'll be happy to ship that out to you. And I'm going to type in my email address for everyone. All right, Neil, I have your address. Fantastic. We should get that out to you within the next couple of days. All right, so let's see. So I just posted my email address in the questions. Hopefully everyone saw that. Neil, let's see. I'm gonna copy this down right now, and we'll be more than happy to get that out to you. Congratulations. All right. Well, with that said, we're going to end the webinar now. I appreciate everyone's time. I hope you enjoyed it and did learn something, and hope to see you at our next event. Thank you so much. Have a good night.